So this is Stone Cold versus Booker T having a brawl in a supermarket, and it's from an episode of SmackDown in 2001.
It's brilliant. I just don't know why this is from like a big pay-per-view. It's just on
I totally agree. And do you know what's really funny is in wrestling over the years they've done a lot of stuff like this,
right?
Where they've had brawls at people's houses, or there's one I watched the other day on a TNA DVD where the Monster Abyss attacks Christian outside of his house and then tries to drown him in his own swimming pool, and they always look hokey and crap.
Yeah,
and this is like the one that does not look hokey and crap.
Well, it looks like it's been
sensational.
It looks like it's been blocked. It looks like it's been planned. Both people know what they're doing.
Yep,
it's brill.
Do you want to know how wrong you are?
Oh, I would like to know.
They say it was 95% improvised.
Okay, right.
They say there was only 5% of it had been basically mapped out. So presumably where they're starting a couple of the sort of gags they do, and then Booker T going on the conveyor belt.
Which is Booker T Booker T lying like dead on a supermarket trolley.
He falls off at a bad angle.
On his head.
He goes right on his head, like, his whole body goes over the top of him, but his head stays where it is.
It's a Ghostbuster, whatever they call it. He's Ghostbusted himself.
Yes.
But he's lying at one point on a supermarket trolley, and it's one of those ones for disabled people.
Yes,
so it's really high.
It's very high.
So it's really shallow and really high. And Stone Cold Steve Austin, another grown man, is trying to put a nappy on him. And I'm sorry, that's how wrestling should be.
I want to see at the 2001 Oscars, you would have all of the films, they would show all the tear-jerking things, and you want the third one to just be a Booker T, Stone Cold Steve Austin Supermarket Brawl, and you'd watch that bit with Stone Cold going, "Oh, you want a burp?" and punching him in the back. No more. They have a real problem with Stone Cold in this era where they keep flip-flopping him, and it really slightly destroys his heat. Everyone's a little bit like, well, are you a good guy or a bad guy? What is it? And it's not that grey intermediate thing that was very, very big when he first exploded onto the scene. It's just people are like, what is he this week? And at this point, he is against Vince McMahon. So Vince McMahon has got Booker T as part of his sort of, protege. And Stone Cold is once again the arse-kicking guy that we all loved. And I don't think there has been a sort of more Stone Coldy segment than this single thing. It's everything that's brilliant about Stone Cold.
Shopping gets me tired. I won't do it no more. Shopping gets me tired. I'm thirsty. Please don't walk. Please, I won't do it no more. Give me like you used to going, Buck. Please. You're thirsty. Please, I won't do this. Please.
That's not the way you serve a man a cold one.
But they are both doing a lot of work, but they're doing different work. So Stone Cold is talking continually, just absolutely keeping it going. And Booker T, bless him, is just going, please, no more. I think he gets one move on Stone Cold.
I
in the
can't
whole
remember
of
him
this.
doing anything.
He does a kick when they're in the backstage area.
Oh, right, yeah.
Which, again, I'm not sure was cleared before they went in there.
Very tidy storeroom. I thought, you're just making a mess.
Yeah, and it's not like they sort of go, well, you can do it in this area.
Yeah.
That's the best thing about this.
Yes,
is
okay.
In these sorts of things, you normally get the impression they've blocked
out bits that...
well, you can hire it, and you can do this bit, but you're responsible for everything that's broken, but B, you cannot come beyond this line.
Yes.
And what's brilliant about this, as you watch it, they actually go from aisle 1, and you can keep seeing the aisle numbers as it goes on, and they literally go from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 to 5, and then there's some bits in 6 and 7. It's magical. This obviously is a real supermarket, and it's called the Green Frog Market in Bakersfield, California, and it's since shut, which I am devastated about.
Probably health code violations. There's nuts all over the floor.
I've never seen more nuts being poured on the floor.
What a waste of nuts.
In this one match.
I felt really bad for all of the Bolivian farmers. I don't really know where nuts come from. It's probably South America, isn't it? These farmers, Peruvian farmers, pulling these out of the ground, ruining their hands and getting paid nothing.
It is an honour for your nuts to be poured on Booker T by the Stone Cold.
He doesn't just do one ball, he does 3 balls of loose nuts everywhere. There's different kinds. So that if you just did one, you could scoop them all up and put them back, because they're nuts.
What's up? Get up. Come on.
That's not right.
see what you've done? You see what you've done?
Do you have that sort of like, that vague dream of what it must be like to be locked in a supermarket overnight?
Yeah,
and being given free range? I think it comes from being kids as well, where there was always that thing, which I never actually saw in real life, where you could win a dash around a supermarket.
Yeah.
And that seemed like the dream, that you'd just be able to charge a trolley around, just pulling everything off the shelf.
Trolley dashes just don't happen anymore, do they?
No.
You don't really hear
I presume because people would go, hey, I finished my minute, and you'd go, Jesus Christ, he's got 16 grand's worth of stuff.
He's got 5 Sanusi tellies.
He went straight for the legs of lamb. We're going to have to close the business.
He's just rinsed all the cigarettes out. Notice the chemist is shut. He's got a lot of antibiotics. He's selling diazepam outside. Pound a pop.
Check that door. Easy. Hey, wait, whoa. What the hell is this?
We had a report of a fire. We're just here to investigate.
There's no fire here to investigate. There's not a damn thing. And you give us a bunch of crap. There's not a damn thing wrong with any of this.
Hey! It's Stone Cold! Stone Cold! This goes to the fireman! Rattlesnake alert! Rattlesnake alert!
This is great because the whole episode is Booker T has been pursued by Austin through the whole thing, and he's taken refuge in the supermarket.
Yeah.
In this one, Booker T is not aware of the presence of the WWE camera crew, who are filming him stealing and eating cereal. But there was a part of me that sort of really goes, that sets the tone for what's going on.
It's
because
stupid.
Whatever arrangement they've come to with the Green Frog supermarket, Booker is able to just go up to anything on the shelf and open it and start eating it.
Yeah.
And I presume there's a bloke with a clipboard following around
Just
going, that's which brand is that? Okay, put that one down.
Okay.
Yeah.
Stock take's going to be difficult this year.
It's just perfection. It starts with the tannoy, and you just have a voice comes out and goes, can I get a can of whoop ass on aisle 5? Like that, and Booker looks around like, am I going mad? And then a bald guy walks past the end, Booker attacks him, and it's just some random bald dude. So it's like Booker's losing his mind.
Sort of dressed a little bit like Stone Cold Steve Austin.
And then the camera pans around to see Booker like looking, oh my God, I've attacked an innocent guy. And behind him is Stone Cold Steve Austin. And then it just kicks off. Everything about this is so much fun.
Austin attacking Booker T!
The other thing about it, do you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of computer games. When you go into a shop and there's loads of things, but you can't get to them.
Yeah, right.
So you have that thing of going, I need to get some health. And there'll be a glowing tin over there.
Yeah.
But then there's 600 tins there, but they're just not touchable. And a lot of the time in wrestling, you would get that sense that, well, obviously you can't go over there and do that.
It's like seeing like a table that's clearly been reinforced or not reinforced.
Or
it's
set
clearly
up.
like
This is a real location, and it's what would happen if two wrestlers who hate each other were fighting in the real location. The only difference, of course, the only thing is no one comes over and says stop doing that.
Although security.
I imagine the man who set this up, I mean, Jesus, he must have been sitting there and just going, this is actually going a lot more aggressively than I thought it would.
Yeah, I'm rounding
a lot
this up.
of damage.
If they hit Spice Island, which I noticed where it all kicks off, Spice Island, I was like, if they start smashing those, I'm turning this off. There's too much of a mess.
There's bits as well, even if they had cleared it. When he puts Booker T in the shopping trolley and he's pushing him, Booker's foot will like occasionally like knock bottles and things you can just hear throughout. Like that.
Things that have been hit about 3 minutes ago are just started to fall off the shelf.
Oh, it's great.
And Booker T's covered in at different points.
Flour.
Mustard, flour. So that's getting on all of the produce. Yes. That's getting on everything.
And
so
on
all
the
of it has
floor.
to be...
All these things you've not thought through when you've said, come and do the supermarket thing. Yeah, sure, we'd be happy to do that.
I mean, obviously the show-stopping bit is watching Stone Cold Steve Austin singing When the Moon Hits Your Eye like a bigger pizza pie into a sausage.
Yes.
And then he cracks Booker T over the head with a pizza.
Yeah.
When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie, that's amore.
I think it's in the storeroom bit. Stone Cold picks up a box of crackers and goes, I hope you enjoy these. These are hard to come by. It doesn't make any sense.
I think it's because he actually struggles to get them because they're on too high a shelf.
Oh, right.
And so he's like, these are actually hard to come by. I think he's sort of like padding for the fact that he's had a bit of a nightmare getting them.
I thought he was just literally going, well, I've seen these in a few years.
Yeah.
Crackers!
Oh, Booker.
Booker would never want crackers.
I hope you enjoy these. These were hard to come by.
My favourite bit is there's a bit where Stone Cold is just pushing Booker around, and Booker is covered in flour, which has incapacitated him for whatever reason. The flour really affects him.
He doesn't he's coming out in hives. He's got terrible problems with this.
I'm gluten intolerant.
It's the worst.
Stone Cold's wheeling him round, and he's just saying to him, I like shopping. like a mad bully.
Get your ass. Get it down.
Booker T locks Stone Cold in this storeroom and he thinks he's got him.
Yeah.
And then you forget that in America, the fridges are double-sided so that they can stock from the back and they don't have to, fill up from the front. It's an excellent system. I don't know why we don't do it over here. But Stone Cold Steve Austin just marches out of the fridge with a big quart of milk.
He comes out of the fridge, doesn't he? He walks out. It's so funny. They are so good in this. Stone Cold Austin was actually one of the people who was featured in the Got Milk campaign. He was a genuine. Okay. You forget, I mean, in the 2000s, that was like the biggest campaign. Got Milk, everyone wearing the milk moustache. Yeah. Stone Cold knocks over. I think Booker goes through a massive load of cereal. Yeah. But they're on the end of the aisle. They're not in a triangle like they've been set up. Booker just goes into them and they all go over. And you go, someone's going to have to pick them up. And then Stone Cold just treads on all of them to get to Booker. And it's really like so much damage. It's so good. I
love it.
When he does the nappy bit and he's going, you want to burp and stuff.
So good.
If 95% of this is improvised, I mean, credit to them because they spot the right thing on the shelves. It would be really hard in this situation not to slightly fumble it. And when you got the nappies, you just be like, you're going to shit your pants, you big shitty bastard. But they hit it every time. But the best bit is obviously Booker comes off the conveyor belt till thing and he's upside down and he's beginning to sob. And Stone Cold walks out and he's not dressing the camera because he can hear the sirens. Yeah. And he walks off. I mean, he's done this on national television. I mean, he's not going to get away with it. But he just walks out and he mutters to himself, price check on a jackass!
Price check on a jackass!
So good. I don't understand why that isn't a t-shirt. No. And I honestly think you can look at this and you can go, it's impossible even if you don't like wrestling to watch this and not just go, that was fun.
Thanks, Book. We got milk.